Hello, Frugal Force. This is Captain Frugal reporting for duty. And today I'm going to do another thing. It's another shilling, but it's not shilling for me, okay? And I'm doing this because I care. It's for Alterna Comics Indiegogo. So if you're interested in this, check it out, Alterna Comics Indiegogo. You could do a search for it, Alterna Comics Expanding, Google search or whatever. I'll put a link in the info bar down below. It says we're gearing up for something big, and it starts by increasing the size of our storage space. And I cannot stress this enough. At the time I did this video here, they're at $3,004 by 86 backers. They're already at 120% of their fixed goal. Now you might go, then why? Well, there's 13 days left, but there's reasons I think we should still give even more to this. I want them to hit their stretch goals. And I got a reasoning why. As a person that's been reading comics for many years, we're talking like 40 years about, I care. And I love comic books. I learned to read on comic books, and I want kids to enjoy reading. And I want them to have a selection of good books to read without having things always forced in your face and lots of different issues there. And right now, the big, like Marvel and DC, they're pushing agendas and things so hard they're in front of the story, and it's making a lot of them actually hard to read, and I don't care for reading those with my kids as much either. And I found Alterna when I was looking for kid-friendly books, and on top of that, I got to speak to Peter Simeti, and he is the most professional right now guy I've seen in comic books. I think he does everything right. He doesn't alienate anybody. You're allowed to have your views, your opinions, and you know what? He's fine with that if they agree with him or not. Ultimately, he just has a company. He wants to run it the best he can. And this guy puts in massive hours into this company and has a true passion for that. I've never felt slighted by Alterna Comics, where I've had people from Marvel and DC call me all kinds of things and scumbag and everything else because of my beliefs differ from theirs. Even though I've had maybe no negative interaction with them, I'm blocked from them because they don't like a way I voted or a particular view or my faith or whatever it may be. And I've never received any of that kind of treatment from Alterna. Nothing but absolute professionalism. And this company, in today's day and age with 2018 and all, Marvel and DC have been struggling. They want to keep bragging about their numbers, but if you look overall, Marvel and DC have been on a decline. But here's the interesting thing. Why are they in decline when we have a company like Alterna, and here it says, thanks to our readers and supportive retailers. Right there. Good start. You don't hear that kind of crap from Marvel and DC. They thank people. They thank the customer. They know how to treat the customer right. 2018 was the biggest year in Alterna Comics history. How can that be? Alterna has the biggest year when the others are struggling. And I think that goes down to a couple key components. Alterna Comics, one, treats the customers, internal and external customers, with respect and care. We don't see that from the others. Another one is the price point, where most of their comics from Alterna are around $1.50. They're $3.99 on average from your Marvel and DC, making those much more expensive and not as good for your money. So that's the other one, the great value for your buck. You get more value from Alterna comic than you do a $3.99 comic from Marvel. And on top of that, most Marvel and DC comics are padded for the trade. So they're going to be like 5 to 7 issues for a storyline at $3.99 a pop to get a complete story. Where Alterna, you might get 3 or 4 issue storyline for $1.50 each. Massive price difference there. For the price of 2 Marvel comics or DC comics, you get a fully contained story from Alterna Comics. So that's awesome. So let's look at what Alterna is planning on doing. We have some big plans for the years ahead, and the first part of those plans includes moving to a state-of-the-art storage center, increasing the size of our space to a 10 by 10 area so we can safely and easily warehouse more books and shipping materials and have the room we need to grow. And I think that is essential, and that's wonderful, but I do think they need to hit bigger. They need it bigger than that. So let's look at their stretch goals. This first one is great. We're able to upgrade for $5,000 the size of our storage space from 10 by 10 to 10 by 13. You'll get an Alterna Comics magnet with your perk, and that's great too. But here's the one, and I really want to see Alterna hit this. And beware, they have 13 days left, and I I really want to see them hit this, is the 8,000. I want to make sure you have this clear. I have no financial thing to gain from this at all. Just for the record, I get no kickbacks, no anything. I want this company to do well because I want alternatives in the comic book industry, and I want to be able to buy from a comic book company that I know treats me well and provides good products and good value. And that's what I'm seeing here. And it says we are for 8,000, we're able to upgrade the size of our storage from 10 to 10 to a massive 10 by 20 space, the largest size offered. You'll also get comics and trading card with your perk. And there's multiple reasons I want to have them get this, okay, for the stretch goal. It says here we're hitting a growth spurt. They turned 13 this year, and it's only fitting they hit a growth spurt. 2017 they had a great growth, but yet even 2018 was big, and now they're expecting to grow at this pace. They're going even more than ever before. Now here's where it gets to other interesting things I want to share. All thanks to our wonderful readers and supportive retailers that have helped us to bring back newsprint and affordable comics in a big way. We have almost 30 titles in our newsprint line and almost 100 issues. I will say I have, I think, about around 70 of those 100. I mean, those comics have gone back to print 2 or 3 times, and we're trying to keep all issues in stock as much as we can. There's where you need your warehousing. And there's a couple of reasons, and I'll talk about that in a moment. As a result of all this growth, our humble storage space is shrinking, and we need to move to bigger and better space. So let's talk about why that space is essential and what they have planned. It says increasing the size of our storage space will allow us to do these few things. This first one's big. Larger initial print runs. We can't sell what we don't have. But with a bigger storage space, we'll be able to keep more issues in stock, which means they'll be able to get those comics in people's hands faster. But on top of that, larger print runs can get you decreased costs in printing based on volume. So it's going to help them keep the costs down so they can continue to grow the company and put out more product and increase their profit margin a little bit. And trust me, they really, really deserve it because the profit margin cannot be huge. Order shipping, supplies in bulk. Once again, save them money. The more we can save them money, the more they can continue to do this. Upgrade the state-of-the-art facility. This one is key too. The new facility will also have an indoor loading dock, and trust me, that is huge. Okay, and we'll be able to receive shipments in any kind of weather, because currently they can't do that because it'll ruin the comic books in bad weather. So once again, puts other limitations on the company. But I tell you, a loading dock is so helpful for the people's backs, and which leads to this next one, because Peter Samedi, I've talked to him. He's absolutely wonderful. This guy works around the clock. Okay, he has passion for this, and a man can only do that so long. Okay, he's been doing this for 13 years. Kudos to him. Okay, from my perspective and with businesses and things too, I know that it's immense amount of hours, and it's very hard on you. But if this works out, he'll be able to hire part-time help with more room to work, the right setup, and better organization. We'll be able to hire part-timers to help receive shipments, sort and pack orders, and more as we continue to grow. That's going to help take some of the hours off of him and some of them off of his back too, because to be honest with you, that's a ton. And this also gives some people some part-time jobs, so it's going to be extending his local area and giving work to others. Isn't that not what we want? That's growth. That's help all around. And allow us to take the necessary steps to eventually launch, and this is probably the biggest one, Alterna distribution. For a lot of people and upstart businesses, they don't realize how important distribution is. You can have all the other things planned out. Distribution can be one of the trickiest and most expensive things that you deal with. Okay, it says we've had this plan for a few years now, and this is one of the biggest things a lot of people over for the indie comics and things struggle with. The first part of our process would be to get a bigger storage space so we can warehouse issues and eventually sell and distribute to readers and retailers. That part is very hard, especially when you have, really we have Diamond monopolizing everything, and that's not really good. We need some alternatives. So this is absolutely wonderful. It should help them be able to expand the business by creating their own distribution, because they're not blocked out by other things necessarily, except the stores themselves. So here's how you can help. And this is why I suggest that, yes, I know they met their bare goal, but let's help them even farther. Okay, it says we've got 6 perk levels for our readers and 1 perk level strictly for comic shop retailers that want to have our books in hand for a free comic book day. Alterna Ween did great and things, but here's the key. Comic shop retailers, if you'd like to have our comics in time for this year's free comic book day, we have a specialized perk for you, which includes 50 of our all ages comics at deep discount. If you select this perk, we guarantee you'll receive the comics in time for the event. By contributing to this campaign, you'll also help us speed up the transition from one storage center to the other. And the less we have to bring over, the better. Because in other words, it's going to move that product out and not have to be removed and moved again, which is just increasing cost. It's going to move it to where it needs to be. So here's the thing. Let's look at these tiers really quick. I'm going to skip over a few of them, but I want to put a focus. If you don't have a lot, this might be a great one for you. The $9 Great for Kids bundle. You can get this for $9 and you'll get 4 kids comic books. Okay. And I don't know about you. Let me go back to that. 4 kids comic books is great. Okay. I mean, that's a great gift. If you don't have a whole lot, you know some kids in need or something, boom, $9. You help the company, you help the kid. You want to help yourself a little bit more too and get a mixed one, get $25 for all ages. You get 25 random comic books. You don't like one, hey, give it away to somebody else. You might even get some doubles. And here's why I tell people, if you get doubles, that's great too. Give it away to people in need. And so there's another one. Here's the retailers only package. What I'm going to be doing is taking Little Frugal probably to the comic shop pretty soon, and he's going to be asking for Bear and Rat and a couple other comics that we want to fill in from our kids, from the kids comics of Alterna. If they don't carry those, we're going to talk to them about the retailers only bundle and see if we can get them to get the retailer bundle. Let's get them started on Alterna. And so there's other ones. You know, as I said, there's a ton of different comic books that you can look at from Alterna's catalog. Like Little Frugal loves Actual Roger. Absolutely. We haven't read this Adam Reck. We haven't read it yet. He loves Mr. Crypt. He loves Psycho KO. He wants to get Baron Rat and the issues of Psycho KO that he doesn't have. I absolutely loved Eden. The Chair was absolutely fantastic in my opinion, as well as others. Now I do want to bring up another point here too, and another way that you can help out. Okay. And let me go here and find it here. Sorry about that little bit of component of it of searching around, but that's what happens sometimes when you do something like this. Here it is, and this is something I think is very I wanted to put at the end. It's very important. They said for all Halloween, people love being able to donate our comics to kids for Halloween, and many readers also donated comics to schools, children's hospitals, the troops, comic shops, libraries, and more. And that is so true. I bought a whole extra pack to give away, and Little Frugal and I gave it away to many places. He brought comic books to his school. That way he could give to kids that are not as fortunate as him. He's actually going to be going and giving another one tomorrow. I found out that they had a scholastic book buying day, and one of the kids had a penny. That's all he had. He couldn't buy a book. If we would have known that, we would have had Little Frugal buy him a book. But since his family couldn't afford a book, we're going to be giving him some Alterna comic books. So I think that's going to make his day. Children's hospitals is a great way to do it too. To send them to the troops, comic shops. Little Frugal and I give comics to the school, as we said. We also give it to the school library as well as the public library. I've also found another place that I like to go to and give them to is your unemployment offices, because they're especially around Christmas time and things like that. There's a lot of parents that are unemployed that are going there, and sometimes they have kids and they can't afford to be giving them Christmas gifts and things like that. So why not? And also, this gives the gift of reading. If you haven't followed my channel much, my channel is very big into getting kids reading, because getting kids reading is going to give them a good start in life. Reading is so important. It's going to help them in all their education. It's going to help them with their critical thinking. It's going to help them with everything from school to the real world. And it's important to get our reading levels up and get more kids reading. They don't all see their parents reading. This is a great way too. Kids and parents can read together. That's one of the things I love watching Little Frugal read. He's excelled above what the expectations of reading for his age are, which, was very common for me. I started reading at 3, but I absolutely love how it enables him to take in so much more information. He loves science because of his ability to read. He loves learning about the earth, and he loves learning about history and all these things because he can read. It makes things more interesting to him, and he wants and craves that information. And I want to see more kids have that ability too. So there are so many things that are great about this. Help Alterna, help out kids, help out adults. Let's help this company go, because a company that cares, a company that does good and treats customers with respect, and how can you not want to help that? All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for taking the time to watch this video, and I hope you check it out and tell Alterna, what your thoughts are about them. Heck, hit up Peter Cimenti on Twitter. You probably will not find somebody in comics that near as professional as he is. All right, thanks for watching. Until next time, keep it frugal.